Have you ever felt a chill so deep it seems to freeze you from the inside out? A cold that isn't just about the temperature, but something more. Ancient? Tonight, we're journeying into the heart of a Japanese winter, into a story that has been whispered on frosty nights for centuries. This is the tale of the Yukki-Onna, the Snow Woman. Imagine this. You're walking alone on a mountain path, the world blanketed in a pristine, silent layer of snow. The air is so cold it hurts to breathe. Suddenly you see her. A figure of impossible beauty, standing against the swirling blizzard. Her skin is as white as the snow she commands, her hair as black as a starless winter night, and her eyes. Her eyes hold the mesmerizing, deadly cold of a glacier. She is the Yukki-Onna, an embodiment of winter's beauty and its unforgiving cruelty. But who is she? Is she the vengeful spirit of someone who perished in the snow? Or is she something else entirely, a natural spirit, a force of nature given form? The legends vary from region to region across Japan, each painting a slightly different, yet equally terrifying, portrait. In some tales, she's a predator luring weary travelers off their path with her ethereal beauty, only to freeze them solid with a single, icy kiss. Her victims are found later, perfectly preserved, a look of shocked horror frozen on their faces for eternity. In other stories, she's more complex, almost tragic. There's a famous tale from the Muromachi period, a story that has become one of the most well-known versions of her legend. Two woodcutters, an old man named Masaku and his young apprentice Minokichi, are caught in a violent snowstorm. They find refuge in a small, abandoned hut. During the night, the door bursts open, and a ghostly white woman enters. She floats over to the old man, Masaku, and breathes her frosty breath upon him, instantly freezing him to death. She then turns to the young Minokichi, who is paralyzed with fear. But as she looks at him, she seems to take pity on his youth. She tells him, "I was going to do the same to you, but I cannot. You are too young and beautiful. But you must never speak of what you saw tonight. If you tell anyone, I will know, and I will come for you." Minokichi, terrified, agrees. He is found the next morning, barely alive, next to the frozen body of his master. A year passes. One evening, while heading home, Minokichi meets a beautiful young woman named Yuki. They fall deeply in love, get married, and have several children. They live a happy, blissful life together. Yuki is a perfect wife and mother, but there's something strange about her. She never seems to age. Her skin remains as flawless and pale as the day they met. One night, sitting by the fire, Minokichi looks at his wife. The light flickers across her face, and he's suddenly reminded of that terrible night in the mountain hut. A thought he suppressed for years bubbles to the surface. "You know," he says to her, "you look so beautiful in this light. It reminds me of a strange thing that happened to me when I was young. I met a woman as beautiful as you. I've never told anyone about it." And so he tells her the entire story. Of the snowstorm, the hut, and the terrifyingly beautiful woman in white who spared his life. As he finishes his story, Yuki's face transforms. Her gentle expression melts away, replaced by a terrifying fury. "That woman was me!" she shrieks, her voice like the wind in a blizzard. "I told you that if you ever spoke of it, I would kill you. But for the sake of our children, I will spare you this time. You must take good care of them." With that, she melts into a fine, white mist and disappears into the stormy night, never to be seen again. This story shows a different side of the Yukki-Onna. Not just a monster, but a being capable of love, who is bound by a promise and a curse. It adds a layer of sorrow to her character. Was her love for Minokichi real? Or was it all just part of a long, cruel game? We can only wonder. But let's go back to the original input story that sparked this exploration. The one where a lone hiker encounters her in the woods. The wind howled through the forest, sharp as knives. "I was hiking alone, following the trail through the snow. Then I saw her, a woman in white, standing perfectly still. Her skin glowed pale against the night. Her eyes met mine. I couldn't move, couldn't breathe. The cold, it wasn't just winter air. It was her, seeping into my bones, freezing my soul." This is the Yukki-Onna in her most primal, elemental form. She's not a character in a love story here. She is the winter itself. The cold isn't a tool she uses. It is the very essence of her being. When the hiker feels that chill, it's not just fear. It's a spiritual cold, an encroachment on their very life force. The story continues. I tried to step back. The snow under my feet hardened like ice. The wind whispered my name. Leave or stay forever, I ran. Branches tore my clothes. Snow blinded my eyes. Behind me, laughter. Cold, hollow, endless. I reached the road, panting. The forest was empty, but when I looked down, my footprints were frozen, and in the snow I could see another set, following mine. That ending is what truly defines the horror of the Yukki-Onna. The escape isn't real. The encounter has left a mark, a permanent stain. The frozen footprints are a physical manifestation of the spiritual chill he now carries. She has claimed a part of him. The second set of footprints tells us the hunt isn't over. She is patient. She is winter, and winter always returns. This idea of her being a force of nature is key to understanding the fear she inspires. In ancient Japan, winter wasn't just an inconvenience. It was a life-or-death struggle. A blizzard could wipe out a village. Getting lost in the snow meant certain death. The Yukki-Onna is the personification of that very real, tangible threat. She represents the beautiful but deadly face of nature, the idea that the world around us is not always our friend. It has its own ancient, powerful, and sometimes malevolent will. So, what can we learn from these tales? Are they just scary stories to tell around a fire? Or is there something more? They are a warning, a reminder to respect the power of nature. A reminder that when the snow falls and the wind howls, it's best to stay inside, safe and warm. Because you never know who or what might be waiting out there in the cold, white silence. The Yukki-Onna isn't just a ghost story. She's a cultural icon, a piece of folklore that has endured for centuries because she touches upon a primal fear we all understand. The fear of being lost, alone, and at the mercy of a cold, indifferent world. Next time you find yourself caught in a snowstorm, listen closely to the wind. If it seems to whisper your name, don't wait around. Just run and hope you're fast enough. Thank you so much for joining me on this chilling journey into Japanese folklore. If you enjoyed this story, do not forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more dives into the world's most terrifying myths and legends. And let me in the comments below, what other folklore monsters do you want to see covered? Stay safe and stay curious. See you next time.